Endless takes. Jung So-min finally talks about her intense kiss scene with Jung Hae. Why did a single kiss scene between two top stars take countless retakes? Was it just nerves? Or was there something sizzling behind the camera that made it impossible to get it right the first time? For the first time ever, Jung So-min opens up about what really happened during that unforgettable moment in Love Next Door. And her unexpected confession will leave you stunned. Let Red Carpet Revealed take you behind the scenes to uncover the truth behind the kiss that had millions holding their breath. It was just another romantic scene in the script. Or so everyone thought. But what was meant to be a simple kiss in Love Next Door turned into one of the most emotionally charged, technically difficult, and unexpectedly revealing moments in Jung So-min's acting career. Now, in a rare and disarmingly honest interview, Jung So-min lifts the curtain on what really happened that day on set. How a single kiss scene with co-star Jung Hae spiraled into a full-day shoot filled with tension, laughter, and the kind of awkward charm that no script could ever predict. A moment she couldn't prepare for. The scene was scheduled for mid-afternoon. After a light lunch break, the crew had rehearsed the lighting. The angles were prepped, and the blocking was perfect. But as the cameras rolled, it quickly became clear. Something was off. Jung So-min, known for her grace under pressure and sharp instincts, suddenly froze. "I don't know what happened," she confessed, visibly amused and slightly embarrassed. "I've done romantic scenes before. But this time, my face just wouldn't cooperate. I started blushing the moment he looked at me." Jung Hae, her counterpart in the scene, stood mere inches away, waiting for the director's cue. But instead of stepping into the moment, So-min turned away, covering her face with both hands and laughing nervously. "We just couldn't get it right." The first take was ruined by a burst of laughter. The second, by a mistimed head tilt. By the fourth, the director called for a break, not out of frustration, but to give his lead actress a moment to regroup. "I think we got to the seventh take and I still hadn't kissed him properly," So-min admitted. "Each time we got close, I'd panic and flinch. My heart was pounding. It was ridiculous." But the situation only became more surreal when Jung Hae, known for his calm, romantic charm, began to falter too. At one point, he looked at me and said, "I think you've transferred your nervous energy to me." She laughed. That's when we both knew this wasn't going to be easy. The turning point. After nearly 2 hours of repeated attempts, the production team decided to dim the lights slightly and change the music in the background. It was an unusual call, but it worked. The tone of the room shifted. The energy settled. And then, something unexpected happened. I remember standing there, looking at him, and thinking, "Why is this so hard? He's my co-star. We're professionals." But something about that moment just felt too real. So-min said quietly. For a split second, it wasn't So-min and Hae playing roles. It was just two people, caught in a moment suspended between fiction and reality. And when they finally kissed, on the 12th take, the room went silent. What the cameras didn't show. The final scene that made it into the episode lasted just under 10 seconds. It was soft, tender, and charged with a kind of restrained emotion that rarely translates on screen. But behind those 10 seconds were hours of vulnerability. There's a part of me that wanted to say, "Cut, let's do it again," not because it was wrong, but because I didn't want that moment to end. So-min admitted, her voice nearly a whisper. What made the kiss so intense wasn't the physicality, but the tension that had built between the two actors, unspoken, unplanned, but undeniably there. And it wasn't just the kiss that lingered. Jung Hae-in's subtle shift. After filming wrapped for the day, crew members noted something unusual. Jung Hae-in stayed behind on set, quietly helping the team pack up cables and props, something he rarely did. He didn't say much, but his expression was distant, thoughtful. When asked about the scene in a later interview, his response was telling. "There are moments as an actor when you forget you're acting. That was one of them." He didn't elaborate. He didn't need to. Neither actor has addressed the scene publicly, until now. Jung So-min's candid confession has not only reignited curiosity about their on-screen chemistry, but has also revealed a side of her rarely seen, vulnerable, unguarded. And deeply human. The hardest part wasn't the kiss. She concluded. It was letting go of the walls I didn't even realize I had up. That scene forced me to be completely open, with the camera. With Hae in, and with myself. And with that, what was supposed to be just another romantic moment on screen became something much more powerful, a raw, emotional window into the connection between two actors. And a reminder that sometimes, the most unforgettable scenes are the ones no one saw coming. It wasn't just the actors who struggled with the scene. According to multiple sources on set, it was director Lee Yun-ju who insisted on perfection. She watched every take with hawk-like precision. A crew member shared, even if the kiss was technically fine, she would say, again, there's something missing. At one point, after the 8th take, Jung So-min looked directly at the director and asked, half laughing, half pleading, what exactly are you looking for? Director Lee reportedly responded with a single word. Truth. A room charged with energy. Filming took place on a warm afternoon in a cozy apartment set, with lights turned low and soft music humming in the background. But despite the intimate setting, the mood on set was far from calm. It was almost electric. One lighting assistant recalled, you could feel something in the air. Everyone was unusually quiet, like they didn't want to disturb whatever was happening between the two leads. But silence wasn't the only reaction. A few of the younger staff members couldn't help but whisper and giggle behind the monitors. At one point, when So-min flinched just before the kiss, the script supervisor jokingly muttered, should we send him on a real date first, prompting chuckles around the room. A makeup artist was spotted clenching her powder brush tightly, whispering, if they don't kiss properly this time, I swear I'll do it for them. Did they rehearse? The surprising truth. One might assume that such an important scene would have been carefully choreographed and rehearsed beforehand. But, as it turns out, Jung So-min and Jung Hae deliberately avoided practicing the kiss. We talked about it briefly. So-min admitted, but Hae said, let's keep the first take real. Let's not overthink it. And so they didn't. Instead of rehearsing the kiss, the two spent time discussing the emotional context of the scene. We sat on the couch for about 30 minutes. Just talking, not as actors, but as the characters. What were they feeling? Why was this kiss important? What would they be afraid of in that moment? It was an unconventional approach, but one that both actors believed in. The build-up to a moment that felt too real. As the cameras rolled, what began as acting slowly turned into something more unpredictable. Jung So-min, usually calm and composed, began giggling uncontrollably. Her hands trembled slightly. Jung Hae, trying to maintain the mood, eventually gave up and started laughing too. We were a mess, So-min recalled. A complete mess. But with each failed take, something else started happening. They grew more comfortable. The barriers began to fade. The laughter became softer, then stopped altogether. The 12th take came, and magic happened. The kiss finally landed, with just the right amount of hesitation, emotion, and raw vulnerability. After the cameras stopped rolling, when the director called, cut, after the successful take, no one clapped, no one moved. The silence in the room was almost sacred. It was like everyone was holding their breath. Said one assistant director, I think we all knew we just witnessed something more than a scripted kiss. So-min looked away, cheeks flushed, and Jung Hae offered her a bottled water without saying a word. That small gesture, more than anything else, spoke volumes about the emotional weight of the scene.